SPY just moving just along the 15 right here. Very, very tight range on the SPY. Pepsi back down below 134. Roger, one more. COLM. COLM. Columbia Sportswear. Yeah, a nice short. Off of earnings, it looks like. Looks like it had earnings. It's pulling down. Yeah, here's the earnings right here. Pulling down pretty hard. Now it's just kind of moving sideways. Daily chart, very weak off of earnings, of course. You can see right here, pretty weak, breaking down. Trying to get below that level right there, which the low is 59.07, which is below there right now. Yeah, nice short on COLM. Again, I haven't looked at the options on it, but that's a nice short setup. Earnings are out. $0.68 estimated, 75 cents actual. Don't know what else they had to say. Earnings aren't bad, but it's certainly a weak stock right now. Yesterday's earnings, Roger. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a decent short, for sure. Trading short into a strong market, but this is a pretty good setup on there. COLM. I mean, I don't mind having a short or two on. That's why I had Pepsi on. Didn't work, but I mean, I don't think it was a bad trade. We got the 16th. These only have monthlies on COLM, and we got 58.81 for the price. So you would have to take something along the lines of a $60 put, which is trading at 215 by 260. It's got 0 volume on it. No, it's got volume on it. 28 contracts. 27 open interest. 215 by 260. Pretty wide spread for this stock. Yeah, it's that's fairly widespread. Of course, it's going out far quite a bit in time, but to the 17th. I just can't pay that much. 215 to 260 is too big a spread for me on this one. It only has $5. Strike prices only go by $5 at a time. 60 put, 65 put. 65 put is 490 by 780, so you can see the spread that they've got it built in there. You can generally short the stock. That's the SPY moving up here on the daily. Just moving sideways right now. SPY coming right down to the VWAP here. Again, big gap up here this morning in the jobs report, which was excellent. A lot more jobs added than expected. Wage increases were less than expected. Unemployment rate stayed the same. Really a good jobs number. Really whipped the market up pretty high. Last night, after hours, there was discussion that China and the U.S. were likely going to be discussing tariffs, so that was, of course, bullish as well. But right now, we're just getting pushed up to the SPY resistance level and just kind of floating around. But again, 565.42 is the resistance on the SPY. It's just got above it and then pull right back to it again. Just going sideways here. Really not that much to try to trade. Costco, we took a nice profit in that Costco debit spread that we took, the 1005, 1010 debit spread. In for 210, out for 350. That was a very nice one this morning. Costco, I think, has pulled back since then. Yeah, back down to 1009. Roger, you can do the underlying in the COLM? Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely a short setup for sure. SPY breaking down here a little bit here below the VWAP. In theory, that's a SPY super system setup. It's a little risky because we're up for the day. You're trading against the gap up is basically it's not really a trend. It's just a gap up, so you get a little bit of room to the downside if it just starts to get weakened. Again, you can't trust this SPY at all right here. See that green candle, red candle, green candle, right back up above the VWAP. Very difficult to try to trade these indexes today. I haven't touched them. Tesla really choppy today. Look at this price action in Tesla. Very choppy. Moved up strong, came back hard. Look at these wicks and tails on this thing. Again, the daily chart on it is right in between the 200-day moving average. It hasn't been able to get through that. That's actually been a good place to get short for an intraday trade. Right now we're right in the middle, right kind of in no man's land here. Here's Apple. Also down below the 8 and 15, but bouncing up from the lows. Microsoft pretty strong. Google also pretty strong, right up to resistance, and Amazon in no man's land here. Went up to the 50-day moving average, back down, right between these two support and resistance levels. Nothing I can play there at all. Can't play this market very much right now. Actually, it's just choppy, very choppy. Nice gap up that gave us a nice win in Costco, so that was good. Very flat market here. Andrew, you've got Pepsi puts 3 weeks out, 77, 77, 3 weeks, and the 77D out, 77 days out. And you had your price target of about 120s. Is that feasible? I guess suppose in this market anything's feasible. I got 131.54 as the next support level on Pepsi. After that, yeah, it's some pretty big 127.83 after that, and then down to 124. So I'd say mid 120s most likely. But I like that position, Andrew. Really very tight trading range on the SPY here today. Very low volume. Very slow day here after this gap up. Big gap up, everybody's excited about the earnings. Everybody jumps in trying to get long, boom, and here comes the compression. XYZ still trading at $46. This thing is going to be a waste of my money. Can't get out of this compression. Again, that's what I had mentioned was my concern. A good thing I took a very small position in it, and you can see why now this compression is. I mean, it could break, but I wouldn't count on it. Good morning, YouTube folks. QA. GEV is a good long. GEV. Yeah, GE. Hey, you know, listen, GE's been a good stock. This thing is moving up beautifully. And GEV is a spin-off of GE. Again, that's GE Vernova, they call it. But yeah, beautiful move in GEV. The last week and a half or so, it's moved up really nicely. Fairly expensive for $400 stock, but this is a nice move. I mean, look at some resistance levels on this thing. Just went through one resistance level today. Next resistance level on this thing is 416. 416 QA is the resistance level on GEV. So about $18 to the upside on it. option spreads on GEV are terrible, by the way. Next week's, yeah, very, very expensive. This is very expensive. All these expensive options are very expensive, and the spread is very, very wide. $390 call for next week is 1550 by 1620, which isn't a terrible spread, but I mean that's got $9 of intrinsic value. You're paying over $6 for, of course, for $400 stock. I guess that's not out of the question, but that's still pretty expensive. No options for you, QA. Just stock. Yeah, that's good, and that's a pretty good. It's a pretty good setup on this thing. You have stock. You don't have to worry about it any time. If it gets real cheap this afternoon, if it's under $400 and it gets real cheap around 3 o'clock for $400 call options for today, you can do a lottery on it. Take a $400 call if you can get in cheap, 20, 30 cents, and see if it runs up through 400. Depends where it is at the time. Summit moving sideways. SPY moving back up again. It's back up through its resistance level again. It's gotten through this several times today and then pulled right back. We'll see what it does this time. My XYZ is just moving. Yep, it's right at the strike price. I'll probably have to dump that right after lunch. I can't. That's just going to get more and more time decay on it. Again, nice trade in Costco overnight. We made a beautiful trade on that one. 1,005, 1,010 call debit spread in yesterday for $2.10. out this morning for $3.50.
On ADIL, announcing a warrant inducement transaction for 2.75 million in gross proceeds.
Trying to grind up here. Really a tight compressions, dynamic compression zone has been holding here for an hour. Just not much edge here at all. Trying to trade indexes here. Just no good. Again, my XYZ straddle is really not doing well. 46. I need a breakout here or a breakdown here sometime in the next hour or two. Pepsi's still coming in a little bit. It's only up 3 cents now, so I'm going to give it a little bit of time. Again, we're in the money on this on the puts that we've got. 135 puts. We're in the money by $1.50. So you know, we're not going to, we don't have an awful lot more risk if it keeps going down. We're going to, the option prices are going to move almost penny for penny with the stock price as it moves down. So because there's not an awful lot of it's trading at 133.55, so we got about $1.46 of intrinsic value in those Pepsi puts. 146, and is trading at well, now it's trading at 144. So it's trading right at intrinsic value right now. So again, there's not much time decay to worry about here because it's just price action that's going to impact our option right now. So again, if we got another dollar drop here, that 144 would go to 244. So that's what I'm watching right now. William, back from vacation. Wow, nice. Managed to grab NVIDIA from your alerts on my phone. Tidy little profit. Yeah, and that was let me tell you, that was a pretty wild ride on that NVIDIA trade. It went way down. It gapped way down off the news. It just really tanked, and it looked like it was a dead duck a couple days ago, and then toward the end of the day, it just ripped right back up again on NVIDIA, and we were able to make a nice profit on that one. It was on, I think it was on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. It gapped all the way down to about 103, 103.50, and then pulled back up to about 108 by the end of the day. Then gapped up the next morning, which we were able to get out of the trade nicely. And it's up again more today. But yeah, that ended up being a good trade. It looked like it was in big trouble, and you never know. You were late to join. Yeah, ended up with naked calls the day after. Made about 350. Good job. Very nice. Welcome back. I hope you had a good time over there. Can't get too much further away from where I am right here than Australia. One of your best vacations. I'm really happy to hear that, William. Very nice. Yeah, that's a good time. Coming up on winter over there. It was chilly for you, especially for Vietnam folks. Yeah, I know I know you live part of the year in Ho Chi Minh City, and I know it's pretty warm there. I told you my wife just got back from over there. She went with some girlfriends for a month. They were in Vietnam. They went to Ho Chi Minh City. They went to took a trip through the Mekong Delta. Then they went into Cambodia, Bangkok, and also went into Thailand. It was hot there, she said, in the middle 90s every day. And they went to Hanoi before they left, and it was cooler there. about 12 o'clock, 11:57 right now. See if we get some questions over here in the YouTube feed. Data. So what do I think about the grab calls? Well, just look at grab first of all. 488. We're earning still 521. Trying to break out. It's got resistance at 519. Let me see what they look like. Obviously, it depends on where you go in time on those things. I'm not sure which ones you're talking about, but the pricing on them, like on next week's $5 calls, 10 by 15 cents, those are out of the money. In the money calls, 450, 35 by 45, pretty good. 38 cents of intrinsic value. Yeah, the option prices on grab are pretty nice. Very close to intrinsic value on those options for next week. For today, 35 by 40 on the 450 calls. So that's, again, 38 cents of intrinsic value. 35 by 40. They're trading right at intrinsic value. The stock doesn't move a lot. That's why these things are so tight. It only moves pennies. So kind of a risk. If you think it's going to get through $5 today, you could always do a lottery on it. And you can probably get those $5 calls for around a nickel or less. Delta 0.8 in June for they're very. If you like the stock long, the options are cheap because they're just about at intrinsic. Neil, so you like Southeast Asia? Incredible. Yep, Vietnam especially. And my wife was over there for a month with her girlfriends. You were looking at the $4 for June 20th data. Let's look. June 20th. They have earnings on 5/21. All right, so you're gonna, if you do that, you're planning on holding it through earnings, I'm guessing. All right, so they're likely to be a little bit more expensive. What strike did you say you wanted to take? $4 for June 20th. Okay. 95 by $1. 88 cents of intrinsic value. That's not bad. I mean, you are going to be trading these through earnings. So, and holding something through earnings is always a risk. It's always a risk. But they haven't really got the options priced to like they're expecting much of a move at all for earnings and grab. Yeah, you get 88 cents of intrinsic value out to June 20th. So again, the stock doesn't move a lot. Remember, it has a daily ATR, very low, somewhere in the neighborhood of less than 20 cents. You're welcome, Data. You're welcome. In fact, William, I know it's much cooler. Yeah, it was cooler when she was only in the 70s here. Gets much warmer in the summer. I know not someplace I think I'd want to visit in the summer. It's hot enough here in South Carolina.
China and fentanyl. Beijing Wyse fentanyl offered to the U.S. to start trade talks. That's coming from Wall Street Journal.
All right, so this is something from the Washington Journal about Beijing weighing fentanyl offer to start trade talks. Again, that's going to be very positive if they start trade talks, which I know no matter how they turn out, the market's going to be very positive if they think there's going to be some talks between China and the United States. So there goes the market. Again, this isn't any official. This is just being reported. Wall Street Journal. A lot of mixed messages. Don't expect immediate deal out of Washington meeting, says Canada PM Carney. I mean, all this is just this is just all roiling the market. It's all news driven. It's been news driven for a long time right now. Last couple months, it's just news driven. So trading it becomes much more difficult because the technicals become you can't depend on them as much as you can in normal market conditions because news blows them away. So that's what you got to be cautious of. So here comes the SPY popping up here. Again, SPY, next resistance on the SPY. Where is it? 569.50. Offering fentanyl. Now, you know what they're talking about is starting the drugs by discussing blocking as much fentanyl coming in as part of the discussion to get them started, I guess. I don't know what any of these things mean, you know, as far as the trade is concerned. But the market loves anything that they hear that there might be some sort of a deal in the works, or they're going to discuss the deal. You know, tariffs is what's moving this market around. And you got a great jobs report this morning, so the market's going to look bullish on this. XYZ trying to move to the upside here. Market updates is listening to Charlie Brown's teacher. Yeah, I guess it's a crazy market, very difficult to trade. I mean, it's miraculous that we made money last month in the market. To tell you the truth, we did pretty well, but we haven't taken very many trades, and you just can't depend on much of anything. I'm glad to see this XYZ starting to make a little bit of a move. SPY really strong here. Again, it's moving up toward the next resistance level, around 569. Gets through the 569, it's got the 200 day in sight. 200-day moving average is within reach of the SPY if it gets above that 569 level. The 200-day on the SPY, just for informational purposes, 573. 573, only $6 higher. A lot of folks that are bearish in the market and took positions bearish are trapped pretty badly right now. Pepsi, by the way, is not reacting to this big move up in the market at all. Still trading at 133.63. I'd be very cautious to chase the SPY up here. Again, this is a news-driven pop. And you know, when the news comes, something like this, the first thing that hits it are the algos. They hit it fast and they way ahead of anybody else, and it gets extended really quickly. You just can't jump in on a candle like this. I mean, this is a nice bullish candle, but you'd want to see some compression before you even consider taking any position in this, in my opinion. Looking for a decent short. BDX is a nice short setup. BDX, kind of extended. Had earnings yesterday, but kind of extended on the daily chart, but pretty good short setup, at least for intraday. No weekly no weekly options on BDX though. Tesla getting pretty close to the 200-day moving average again. Yeah, within a couple of dollars from it. What?
I was talking to Alfie.
Alfie. I'm gonna stop here and get some lunch here in about 5 minutes. Take a break. I haven't really done too much today. I took a nice profit in Costco overnight. I took this XYZ straddle, which is so far a piece of garbage. I got the 46 calls, 46 puts. It's been pretty much compressing since this big gap down on earnings. And we'll see if we can't get a movement in it, but I don't know. Again, market pretty strong. Awfully the good jobs report this morning and the couple of news blurbs that are popping the market up. Again, it's news that's driving the market, that's it. You have to take that into consideration. You can't really hang around in trades too long. One bad piece of news will drive the market down, a good piece drives it up. So if you're in folks that are in short positions the last couple of weeks looking for a pull down in the market are pretty much trapped right now as the SPY moves up toward the 200-day moving average. All right, everybody, I'm going to shut down the YouTube feed for today. Be back again Monday at about 11. Thanks so much for being here today. I appreciate it. And look forward to seeing you, some of you folks in the room. And again, I'll be back on Monday around 11 o'clock. Have a great weekend, everybody, in the YouTube feed.